Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone is doing well. Or no, you know what? It's Wednesday. It's not even Tuesday. Crazy. Yeah. Time is flying lately, huh, guys? It's March 1st. Can't even believe that we are on to our third month of the year. This year is literally just flying by. So, interesting portal today. We got 3123. I don't know. Maybe that means something to you. I actually thought it was going to be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's a little early and I'm a little tired. So, but 3, 1, 2, 3. Interesting. Anyway, if you think about 1, 2, 3, it is the beginning, right? It's there's none of the later numbers in there, so things might feel brand new lately. They might feel like I made a comment yesterday about a new class I'm taking, and my comment was, I feel like I'm in kindergarten. And I actually even said it, is actually a good thing, because if everything that we've been taught is wrong, then we have to go back to the beginning. And there's nothing wrong with that. So anyway, there's that little preemptive energy for you there. So let's jump right in. Spirit, Source, God, Creator, can I get energies? We've got 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups is walking away from an investment, right? It's just, you're almost at the 10, you're with the 8, and you realize that you need to walk away. Some of you might be in this energy of still contemplating, whether or not this thing that you've spent so much time, that you've invested so much energy into, is done. It's just time to walk away. It has a feel of unfinished to me, but what I think this card is saying is it actually is finished, right? Look at the pig here. He's wearing a blue ribbon. So it actually is done. Maybe the unfinished, walking away from the unfinished, is the actual finished lesson. It's very possible. She doesn't look happy about walking away. She looks like, damn, I just put all this time, effort, energy, money, everything into it, and you know what? It's just done. It's just over. And that's the energy that we're in. It's okay, guys. It's okay to walk away from things that no longer serve you, no matter how much time and energy you've invested into it. It's, when it's time to go, it's time to go. I think yesterday we talked about just say no, and don't try to weave your way back onto the right path. Just jump onto it. And that's what that card is. Then we've got the Ace of Swords. So this is new thoughts, looking at things differently, looking at your opinions, so aces are new beginnings, but swords are thoughts and words. So I think this is you speaking to yourself differently. The words we talk about in our head, that voice in our head that we hear all the time, that is essentially not us, right? Because we are the awareness of that voice. But I digress. Anyway, that voice in your head is starting to speak new things, right? And it's literally like rewriting the story. I see a pen here. I didn't notice before I had said that. And that's more of the written word, right? Rewriting the story. Now, that rewriting of the story can be metaphoric, or it can be actual literal translation of rewriting your story. Maybe, I don't know, maybe some of you are writers. Maybe it's time to get going on that. But the the Ace of Swords, the rewriting of the story, is literally just the story you tell yourself, right? It's the urge to create something new. It's the inspiration to create something new. I keep saying create, and create is more Wands energy, but I feel like when, we have that creative energy, it's all of the suits in the tarot. It is the cups. It is the wands. It's the swords, and it is the pentacles, because it all starts with you. And when you start to begin to talk to yourself differently and rewrite your own story, all of those other suits change as a result. So, this Ace of Swords is going to be, look at, Look at the mountains in the background. And I literally feel like this person knows they can move mountains. But what mountains are you moving? You know, we talk about in the Bible and stuff, like the faith of a mustard seed can move mountains. And everybody thinks that's very literal. And for some it may be, right? It's very, I'm not saying it's not. For me personally, I take that metaphoric. And what are the mountains in your life? What are the blockages, guys? What are the things in your life that are holding you back, that look so daunting that you can't even take that first step on the mountain? The faith of a mustard seed to move mountains is faith and confidence in yourself to not see it as a mountain anymore. It moves the mountain, right? And then you can go back on your path. So that's the energy for today, guys. Just walking away, realizing that it's okay to be over-invested if you're walking away. If you continue to invest in it, now you're not having that faith, right? Having that faith to move the mountain, having that new beginning, moving through these blockages might be walking away from something that you spent a lifetime building. It might be walking away from yourself, you know, walking away from the person that you spent X number of years creating, you know, guys, and that's going to be sad. That's going to be sad. That's going to be something you have to grieve. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, guys. So I love this energy for us though. The new beginnings, the new thoughts, the creating new things, walking away from things that no longer serve us. So can I get messages for today to go with this energy? I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm feeling drained today. You know, I picked them up like that. I think they're upright. Ace of Wands. We were just talking about the Ace of Wands, creative energy. 2 aces. And, all right, let me point this out, guys. We've got 2 aces down here. This is, I don't know, there's going to be a numerology to this somewhere. Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. We've got the written word and the desire and the creation, right? 2 new beginnings. And then we've got Judgment. Judgment is the last card before the world. Look at the numbers. 2 X's. A lot of synchronicities. A lot of what is the word? Not similarities, the repeating numbers, right? So 2 aces, 2 X's. And X's are 10. So you're going to jump quickly, guys. It's going to be a lot of jumping, like starting something and then the next day you're done. Like you're not going to be going through the numbers as quickly as you used to. Like you're even walking away at an 8. You're not even letting it get to 10, right? Before you jump off of the madness train or whatever you want to call it. And Judgment is about judging yourself. Okay. It's, oh my gosh. Didn't I say 1, 2, 3 earlier? 1, 2, 3. And it is diamonds, or no, I'm sorry, clubs, hearts, and diamonds. So they appear to be apologizing, looking guilty, surrendering, maybe a little shameful, because the white rabbit up here, this judge, you know, that's blowing the trumpet, which could be indicative of like an archangel or what is it? Is it St. Peter that meets you at the gates of heaven or whatever? Is you. You're judging yourself. They don't see it that way, right? But at the end of the day, we judge ourselves worse or more critical, I should say, not worse, but more critical than anybody else in our lives. And when we get the Judgment card, it's clarity. It's a wake-up call. It's this is your purpose. You're starting to understand your purpose. And when you start to understand your purpose and you realize that your path should be steps in the direction of that purpose, every step. I think we said this yesterday in class where it was, you know, the decisions that you make, every little tiny small decision should be in pursuit of your goal, right? We talked about goal setting. I'm in a class where we have to set a goal every week, and it could be as small as I'm going to just come to class every week. Or it can be as big as, you know, I need to, I don't know, buy a new car, you know, something a little more, that takes a little more energy and a little more momentum than just going to class every day. But for some people, guys, going to class every day is as big as buying a car or buying a house or moving or any of the, new relationships, breaking up relationships. Any of that stuff can be daunting because it is in the person doing it, in their perception of it. If you've spent a lifetime not meeting requirements, not meeting your commitments, then meeting commitments is a huge step. And that's okay. It doesn't, don't judge yourself for that. Doesn't mean, and don't judge others for it. I caught myself in class yesterday going, really, this is a goal for the week, and I had to stop. And luckily I stopped before I said anything, obviously, or hopefully I didn't let any cues or body language show that I was like, seriously, feeling like I'm in kindergarten. But I was judging, and in judging them, I judged myself. And I caught it instantly, I caught it. I ran away from that teaching. I crafted a new story about it. And I thought differently about it. So when those things happen quick, it's kind of like momentum, right? When the first one happens, suddenly it's get the ball rolling. So suddenly everything happens much faster, much quicker. We went from 1 to 10. 20, really. And we're about to complete a cycle with this. So, and then we get the 7 of Pentacles. This is the seeds that you planted are ready to be harvested. He prepared for it. Right now, he's painting the roses. Now, I did actually watch Alice in Wonderland last night, although I didn't pay attention, to be honest. But Alice, at one point in the movie, was painting the roses for the Queen of Hearts. And I did not realize that there was a white queen that was the Queen of Hearts' sister. And there's something called a Jabberwocky. I haven't seen it in the cards yet, but anyway. We've got the 7 of Pentacles. And that's, you planted your resources, and now they're coming back. Now you're starting to see the fruits of your labor. The black crow here, or raven, whichever you want to call it, is, birds for me are always messengers. Always, always, always. And he looks like he's protecting those pentacles. And, the messages that you give other people are going to protect your resources. Let's consider your resources to be your support system. How you treat those people, the messages you give them, both verbally and non-verbally, are going to have a direct impact on how many people are in your support system, right? So protect that. Understand who your support system is, and be mindful of your words. Again, with the words, it's a lot of words lately, and nonverbal words. Just be aware of what you've built, what you've planted, and that it's coming back, and protect it. I feel like painting the white roses red literally protected them from the Queen of Hearts cutting them, off with their heads, kind of thing. If you need to mask something for the purposes of protection, for keeping someone safe, it's kind of the means justify the ends. Be careful with that. Be very discerning. Be very authentic, and be very impeccable with your word with it. And it could just be not speaking, not giving away the information. We talk a lot on the channel about not giving away your passwords, not letting people know what you're up to. I think I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and she's trying to, I wouldn't say escape her current living situation, because it's not abusive physically, in my opinion, but they, she's made to feel uncomfortable a lot of the time. She is not allowed to be her authentic self. And she tries to speak her truth. She tries to be who she is, because she accepts people for who they are. So our assumption right away is that everybody else will accept us for who we are. That's not always the case, guys. So sometimes it's just a matter of keeping your mouth shut. And if you're going to leave, then maybe you don't tell everybody your plan, so they can't talk you out of it. I was talking to another friend the other day at school. Her and her fiance are having a hard time with the dog. Who's going to take care of the dog? And, my friend is in several classes. She's got a lot of homework. She's in a chemistry class, which apparently is one of the harder classes at CNM, because all of the students in our tutoring center seem to be chemistry students. I feel really bad for for Mike, who's the only chemistry tutor sometimes, and it can be challenging for him when he's got 5 or 6 students waiting for him. But anyway, so she got a new puppy. Needs her fiance to help with the puppy, right? They got to take the puppy out every half hour, 2 hours, whatever it is. And so, you know, she gets drained by this because she's the one with the always taking the puppy out. She's the one that has homework, and the fiance is just really tired all the time, but not from what I'm told. See, I don't know both sides of the story here, but from what I'm told, doesn't have a lot of other outside of the home responsibilities. So, you know, I told her, I said, when you argue, when you give her a reason why you need her to take the puppy out, you know, oh, I have a lot of homework, I have this, I have that, you're inviting the argument back, right? I think I said yesterday, on a side note, at one point, guys, no is a complete sentence. Well, when you are in a situation such as my friend was yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, I can't remember, days are blending into each other, but, you know, you walk in, you say, I understand you're tired, you know, validate their feelings, their situation, and then express it as a need. It's not I want, it's an I need. I understand you're tired. I need you to take the dog out tonight. I've got a lot of homework. And then walk away. Don't invite the argument back. You know, leave it as a statement, and then you can move on with your night, whatever, right? If that is truly what you need and you're not negotiating, then express it that way. And I feel like that's what this painting the roses is, right? It's reframing your words, reframing the conversation to be more indicative of what it is or what it should be. I'm trying to think of another good example. I guess you would call it being assertive instead of aggressive. There is a fine line between being an asshole and saying, I always take the freaking dog out, it's your turn and you need to do it, and I have a lot of homework and you don't have anything to do. And then now you've created, you know, all that comes from the tension and the holding back and the suppression of you not speaking your truth prior. Much like with my son the other day, the story I told you guys about my son. I didn't have an adult conversation with him. So when the opportunity presented itself, you know, that was my pattern. I threw him under the bus in front of other people, I guess, hoping the other people would shame him into doing whatever it was I needed him to do. Very toxic, very, very childish, you know. And other people, it might be, you know, you argue to death until they finally talk you into doing what you don't want to do, or talk you into not needing them to do whatever it is you need them to do. It's a very manipulative way to communicate, guys. And, you know, this is communication. It's looking at communication in a new way. Understanding the right way to communicate these things to people, right? You've got to think about how to do it. And it's not something that's going to come easily. So don't judge yourself. You know, you're going to fall a few times. You're going to have to surrender a few times. You're going to lose a few times. But look at yourself. Look within your heart. If you come from a place of love at all times, then you can paint the roses red. You can paint them to be loving. You can paint them and reframe them in a loving way, and they will actually be loving. You will be growing resources, your own resources on how to communicate, your own resources on how to love yourself, how not to drain your own energy. Keep all of these things in mind, guys, and walk away from the old ways that worked, because they're toxic. They're not working for you anymore. You're noticing them quicker. You're not feeling good about them. And the more you do them, you're going to find people are going to like magically change in front of you. It's crazy. You know, like I asked my friend at school, you know, who took care of the dog last night? And she says, oh, the fiance did it. She says, I came in and I said, I need you to take care of the dog. And the fiance said, I know, you have a lot of homework. I was already going to do it. It's the energy, guys. It's the energy of putting it out there. It's returned back to you. And a lot of times, like, she was dreading this whole big argument, and it ended up being nothing, right? It ended up being nothing. So I'm going to leave the tarot portion there. Let's get an oracle card. We're going to stick with Alice because I don't know, until she goes away in my world, we're going to use her cards. Because I'll be honest, guys, I'm kind of sick of the whole Alice in Wonderland theme. Not going to lie. Like, I'm sick of it. Even a friend of mine in LA, she has a company called Potency 710 where she uses cannabis in her skincare products. Very, very big company. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. I was blessed enough to have met her and perform Reiki on her a few times and do some readings for her. But she started, I haven't seen her in probably over a year. And she, or spoken to her really, but we're friends on Facebook. And of course I follow her business page. And she has a whole Alice in Wonderland theme happening in her new marketing campaign. So I just thought that was hysterical. I don't know, maybe the Alice in Wonderland is what's identifying our tribe. Are you an Alice in Wonderland themed lately? Maybe you're supposed to be in my tribe. Who knows, guys? Who knows? Everything means something and nothing. Either way, can I get some advice for today? Kind of funny. Sorry. Can I get some advice for today? Can I get some advice for today? These cards are kind of sticky. It's really cold in my apartment this morning. I don't know what's going on with my heat, but my little feet are freezing. That's okay. Advice for today? Thank you. We got a couple. Okay, falling. The unknown, descent, momentum, and change. She doesn't look happy. People, when you guys embody this new energy, this new way of communicating, this new way of loving yourself and loving other people and walking away from things that no longer serve you, people are going to fall out of your life, okay? That momentum of change is going to bring unknown people into your life, and the old people that don't match your frequency, they're going to fall away, and it's going to be sad. And it's okay. You guys hear me say that all the time. Look at the higher self behind her. Or actually, maybe that's herself, and this is the higher self in her heart. Her inner child, right? Her inner child might be, this might hurt, guys, to be this way, to do all these things, because you were taught a certain way to do it. It might hurt. It might hurt your inner child. Your inner child might actually need some extra attention, some extra love this week. You might need to nurture that inner child and say, you know what? It's okay that these people go away because I got you. And, pick something. And like I think I told you guys last week, I use a specific lamp in my house to talk to my emotions. I have these they're called real babies, lifelike looking dolls. I use them in my shop for anxiety patients. And they calm your energy really quickly, and I have one that is my spirit guide, and I have one that is me. And when I need to speak to my inner child, I hold that doll. Like, I know it's goofy, but whatever you have to do to trick your mind to speak to your own inner child is okay, because there's no right and wrong way to do that. It's whatever works for you. I need actual tangible things to connect with. I'm not a very visual person. I can't just create things in my mind's eye and visualize things and feel them the way I would if they were tangible in my hands. So that's what I do. But people are going to fall out of your life. Don't let yourself fall with them. And then we've got the impossible things. I think when, the little bit amount of time that I was paying attention to this movie last night, at one point Alice had to fight the Jabberwocky, and she was, obviously she's a little tiny Alice, big, huge Jabberwocky, which actually was a dragon in this particular version of the movie. And the Mad Hatter says to her, you have to believe, she says, she sees the dragon and she goes, oh, this is going to be impossible. And the Mad Hatter says, well, you have to believe in the impossible or it won't be possible, right? And she says, I believe in 6 impossible things before I wake up every morning, or something to that effect, right? And of course, she ends up defeating the Jabberwocky. But impossible things, working through disbelief, imagination, leaps, fresh perspective. Yes, you know what? Acknowledge and validate that whatever you're facing might be impossible, and then tell yourself that it is possible. There are horses with butterfly wings that are rocking horses. There are dragon fairies. Look at that. We said dragon earlier. I hadn't even looked at the card yet. And there are butterflies made out of, looks like toast and jam. And she looks like her world is not normal. Okay. So to get back to the story about Alice with the world, right? With the world. Not a Freudian slip. This is going to help you guys complete a cycle. All of this information is cycle completing information. What Alice had said in her list of 6 impossible things that she made herself repeat while she's facing the Jabberwocky. She said, animals can speak. Cats can smile. Wonderland is real. These are the things that she saw proof of that were supposed to be impossible, so that she could manifest the energy to defeat the Jabberwocky. Okay, guys? So what are those little things of proof in your life? What are the little dragon fairies that you've seen? What are the little bread butterflies that you've seen that you can put your faith in the fact that you thought it was impossible and it wasn't? Because that's the energy we have to carry through when we're trying to accomplish something that we were told or taught to believe is impossible. Everything's possible if you believe, right? How many believe stones and sayings do I have behind me here? There's believe here. Believe here. Believe is over here. Believe is the start. It is the beginning of all of this. Has to start with belief. And then it's always tea time. Now, it obviously says tea time as in a cup of tea. But as I was saying it, I saw a golf ball and a tea. Isn't that funny? I don't know. Golf's been a thing lately. We've got the Mad Hatter. We've got Alice. Alice looks like, oh my God, seriously, not again. Like she's just over it. He's tripping. Like he's like, yeah, let's have some more tea. Let's eat some magic mushrooms. I got this, right? And the magic mushrooms are in there. Eternity, endless moments, and repetition. Some people are enjoying the Matrix. Some people have no problem staying asleep, guys. They have no problem being told, what to do, or living what they've been taught, and they believe it to be true, and that's okay. Think about that movie, The Matrix. There's one point in there when, I can't remember the character's name, but he was the one that was planning to kill Morpheus, right? And at one point, he's eating a steak. And he says to everybody, you know what? I wish I'd taken the red pill, or whichever one you're not supposed to take, I guess. He says, I wish I'd taken that because I want to go back to sleep. And the agreement he made was to go back to sleep, to go back into the Matrix and forget everything that he had learned about having awoken to the Matrix. And he puts a piece of steak in his mouth and he goes, you know what? I just really fucking like steak. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's what this guy is showing me here. Some people like the Matrix, guys. Let them stay there. But you don't have to attend every tea party with them. It might be time to walk away. And isn't that funny with the cups? That it happens to be cups and not like swords or pentacles or whatever. Walk away. It's repetitive. And when you're ready for that repetitive cycle to end, you'll get up and walk away. So are you ready? If you're ready, it's time to walk away, guys. I'm going to leave it there. I love you so, so much. And we will talk soon. Much love and light. Hey guys, quick recap today because I am running a little bit late for my day. But I did watch the video this time. Go figure. And I've learned to restructure my morning to make better use of my time. But anyway, I don't know. Yeah, maybe somebody needed to hear that. A few things I noticed today. I thought it was Tuesday when it's Wednesday. I thought the date was going to give us a 1, 2, 3 in there somewhere, and it didn't. And I said the means justify the ends. I made a lot of mistakes, and I don't think those mistakes were insignificant, if you will. This Alice in Wonderland theme, this everything is backwards, nothing is normal. And for the record, it is the ends justify the means. But I said it confidently as if it were the right way to say it, right? I didn't catch it until I rewatched the video. Like I didn't even catch it at that moment. If I had, I probably would have corrected it. But I think it's indicative of sticking with the theme of nothing is what you think it is, guys. Nothing is what you think it is. The impossible, right? And actually I just got that song just because I said it. No divine hits there just because I said it. That song, The Impossible by Joe Nichols. Give it a listen. It's one of my favorite songs, and I don't listen to it very often, but it is absolutely an inspiring song. And it's heartbreaking song, but it's inspiring. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't even know. See what I mean? Like, it's like you stop and you get lost immediately, and it's that jump of a timeline, right? It's jumping back on. I talk about that a lot in the last couple days. Just stop. What is that in the movie? I can't remember what movie it is, but it's stop, wait, rewind that. You know, and some of you might know what that movie is. My friend Dean used to say it all the time when we would get to we could tell we were about to be in an argument. He'd go, stop, wait, rewind that. We would stop, because really at the end of the day, the laughter is what brought the tensions down, right? But anyway, the other thing I talked about was my class, and then I talked about my friend from school, and I talked about my friend in North Carolina. I don't think I mentioned she was in North Carolina, but she is. And so I guess the point being there is we give a lot of advice to other people. We don't often follow it. Keep that in mind. You know, don't be the guy that gives all this advice unsolicited even. And when I think about it, and I think about my friend from school, I don't know that she asked for advice. That might have been me overstepping. It worked in the end, but either way. And my friend in North Carolina, you know, who I'd given the advice to, I think she called me at one point and said, you're not going to like this, but, and it broke my heart, you guys. It broke my heart, because I thought it was a way, it was her nonverbal communication in those words that I realized she's trying to please me. And my advice giving, like, I'm trying to direct her life. And I had to step back, and I stopped her and I said, no, if I've given you that impression, then that is not what I wanted. I support you no matter what decision you make. It's not about me liking it, it's about you liking it. And, you know, those things are opening to me very quickly lately. And I think just by the sheer fact in the reading that I am always saying at least one, if not two or three things wrong or backwards or embarrassingly, because I know this is on YouTube, it's okay, right? Because we notice it, and we're noticing it quicker. And I think the other day the theme was, you know, watch the movie again. Well, watching my videos right away before I post them and putting this little explanation out there, I feel better. I feel like I've corrected it. I feel like whoever watches it isn't going to say, well, this lady's freaking crazy because she says, you know, the means justify the ends. What the hell does she know? But if they keep watching and they see me correct it and they see why it was a mistake, then I feel like it's completed, right? We talked about judgment being the end of the cycle, and, you know, the card right before the world. And, you know, I stopped judging myself for saying those things wrong because I was able to correct them. But I went back and I corrected them. So maybe that's a theme. Who knows? The other thing was there was some noise at a certain point in the reading. I think I was talking about walking away from things that no longer serve you. And then there was some clanging in the background. Again, I didn't hear it while I was doing the reading, and I'm convinced that I am oblivious to the outside sounds around me while I'm doing the reading, because I'm really, you know, guys, when I do these readings, I'm really focused and tapped in. Like, if you notice, it takes my camera shaking or something, a jarring thing, to get my attention, usually my dogs. It's when I watch it after that I realize it was all these distractions in the background. And I think, you know, as again with the theme of distractions, I'm noticing I'm not letting the distractions in. You know, give yourself those kudos. Give yourself that pat on the back. Notice your wins. Take the wins, right? We've had a theme of roses lately. I actually looked that up because roses to me always mean love, but I was like, it can't be that hokey, right? But no, it is. Roses are love. And repainting, right? Repainting, retelling the story, rewriting the story, directing your life. You know, it's all in your mind's eye, guys. It's all in your mind's eye. And even in the movie last night, Alice in Wonderland, it was You know, she had gone to Wonderland once as a child and then went back as like a teenager or something. And she thought it was a dream. She didn't realize it was real. When she got that revelation, everything changed. Everything changed. So she now believed it was real, knew it was real, saw it, felt it, touched it. And I think, I didn't actually watch the end of the movie, but I think at the end she chooses to stay there. She doesn't go back to England or wherever it is she was from. So, you know, there's something to that. You know, I'm still trying to untangle this Alice in Wonderland theme in my life. So maybe that's it. But anyway, the other thing was the blackbird in one of the cards. I think it was, let me look. It was Seven of Pentacles, had the blackbird on it, or the crow, or whatever you want to call it, raven. I think it's funny that I always say crow or raven, and really I could just say blackbird, because really that's what it is, right? And there was a comment left on my video from yesterday with a quote from John Lennon. Maybe listen to that song, I don't know, maybe there's something to that, but it was a little synchronicity, you know. And then we had the 11 and the 20, or the two X's, if you will. And the 11 meaning the two aces, I'm sorry. Aces means is like the 1 in tarot. So we had 11 and then we had 20, or two X's. So when numbers start to line up like that, guys, yeah, you can look them up in an app and see what they mean. But like I always tell you, what does it mean to you? What does 11 mean to you? What does 20 mean to you? What does two X's mean to you? Two X's, I mean, there's a Freudian slip. Could be an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, an ex-lover, an ex-whatever. You know, an X is in the past. Maybe that's what it means. Anyway, go back, watch a video, see what different weird little coinky dinks you get, and we'll talk soon. All right, guys? Much love and light.